Hello, fellow traders. 'Tis I, the Rumpled One. It's Tuesday, May the 7th. The year's 2019. Let's talk trading. Horizontal lines, highs and lows. Yes, we talked about this yesterday. We're going to talk about it maybe for the rest of the week because it's something that's simple. Horizontal lines are simple. You can, when you come to highs and lows, these are, for the most part, except for the current, they're lines, set in stone, meaning those values are not going to change, unlike squigglies that change when you change time frames. So keep that in mind as we go through the charts today. And for some strange reason, it's taking a while for the screen to change over. And you always have to keep money and risk management in mind. And we'll see why today, because it seems like we're getting some volatility. Now, if you notice here, we had the euro yen came up into the previous week's wick zone, and then it's come out, and we've gone red for the week, red for the month, and red for the day right here. We're 7 pips, 8 pips below that open. We're still within the rat zone. So you can see here, using this indicator, the magnified market price indicator that I modified. Let me just show you that here. For some strange reason, this computer is really not responding to my clicks. Right there, magnified market price, TRO modified. And you can see we still have a few pairs, more than a few, that haven't filled the gap, but some have. So we have different things. We can show the discount. We can show price discount, fib retrace. We can show percent change if you're interested. But I just like to keep it kind of simple. I mean, those other parameters do have value. That's why I put them in there. But for the most part, I'm just focused on high and low and the open. You can see here on the daily, so far we've created got an inside bar happening. It'll be interesting. Check out that breakout. And we crossed below the previous day's midpoint right there. It's a big move. And you can see here we're still within the range of yesterday, the first day of the week. But we've actually gotten out of we've exited the range of the first day of the year, trading day that is. You can see that. And here's the first trading day of the month. We are nowhere near this range. And what's this? All this have to do with the highs and the lows? I guess I should go back. So you can see you put in these horizontal lines at the high and the low, and you can just trade the crossovers. See, candle color at the line. So see here, that was the open. It was red at the line. It went down, came back the other way. And that's why I talk about the money and risk management. Sometimes you're only going to get a few pips. So like right now, if you were short, you have the opportunity to take 5 pips. And a lot of people will poo-poo that. Oh, 5 pips. I'm a this trader, that trader. I stay in for 100 pips or more on mine. You 5 pips. Yeah, well, let's see if you're still around talking about your 100 pip trades, 10 years from now. Takes, it takes a lot to stay in this game. And you can see here's the 5 open for the 5 months of this year, and we're below all of them. See, we're just totally red here. And on the range, you can see first trading day of the month, we are out of the ranges. It's pretty telling when you see these things. What does it tell? It tells you that there's a strong move in a certain direction, and in this case, down. And when you look at all the lines, you can see here we're just below everything. Whoops. Inside bar. I pointed this out yesterday. We went in the monthly inside bar. Now it's come out and it's rejected it strong. Strong rejection there. So anybody trading inside bars, you had the opportunity here. If you took that trade, you're up 63 pips if you're still in it. And you can see we're now in the lower wick zone of yesterday's candle, 85 pips. We've got 5 over 100 on the range here. But just once again, we're looking at the highs and the lows. So you can see here, so far we haven't had any crossover. We've just had wick zone trades. Setting up for a nice holo. This is the monthly H1 lowest open here. Happened 38 bars ago. We've got the H1 lowest open right now is the current H1 bar, because you can see today has been going down. There's your daily H1 highest open right here. You see you had a couple of opportunities to enter and get short. And once again, looking at the highs and the lows, you see right here, you had these highs put in earlier in the day, and then you had price move out of that high. Then it came and crossed right below it, then crossed below the highest open. So right in here was a perfect area to get in a trade. Now people are going to go, oh, that's a hairy hindsight. Well, the thing is, yeah, you can call it hairy hindsight, but we show this each and every day. All you have to do is look at the pattern, look at the setup, and then you just go for it. Sometimes you're going to win, sometimes you're going to lose. Remember, these videos are for educational purposes only, and your results may vary from that of the presenters. Oh, don't you just love all those disclaimers? And here we had the pivot point below the open and below the short zone. So there was a short bias. It got paid off right out of the gate. Then you had a couple of long opportunities here, but you can see this should have been a scratch trade. And right here, should have taken profit. When you saw it coming back down right there, should have been out of that trade for a couple pip profit. And then here once again, you can see you got in that trade. Should have been a scratch, because otherwise you would have hit your stop. Here, if you hadn't been in the trade, if you took that short, it paid off nicely. And we also crossed below the weekly open. Rats, green rats, get ready, because we're setting up for rat reversal here. But you can look here at the candle color multimeter. Oh, and by the way, somebody wanted to know what these numbers are. Right here, this means you've got one 1 minute candle in a row. You've got 2 red 5 minute candles in a row. 6 red 15. So see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 red 15s in a row, and so on. And sometimes they're bright, sometimes they're dim. If you want to know why, I will show you here. Once again, it's making either a price is either making a higher high or a lower low. And for some reason, it's taking a while. Not sure. I don't have anything else running on this computer that I know of. It must just be loading up the data. I'll pause the video till it loads. Okay, as you can see here, we've got a bright red. See how it's making a lower low? So that's why it's bright. And we have seen, and we took out the pivot. Here's the weekly pivot, 124.64. That needs to be hit sometime, maybe next week. We took out the daily pivot, missed yesterday's, missed the days before. These pivots need to be taken out. Price action, one ball at the top, red at the line, and there's what happened. You can see right here in the wick zone, in and out of the wick zone. Now we're in the lower wick zone. Yesterday's candle high, top, bottom, and low. And one of my favorite trading charts, see here, monthly low, taking the crisscross. Every time it crosses, you just take the trade, sometimes a little, sometimes a lot. Have your stops, pay attention to the midpoints, and trade what you see. And you can see here on the tick chart what's happening. Whoops. Einstein line, you can see once again, trading what you see. Sometimes a little, sometimes you scratch out, sometimes you might stop out, sometimes you get a little bit more. It's here and here, but you can see prices just oscillating. So that's why you take these 2, 3, 4, 5 pip trades when you can, because there's no reason to give them back. Now, I wanted to show that screen, continue on the screen yesterday using the HL5 indicator. And it's just showing, here's all the highs that have been put in that haven't been crisscrossed. So you can see what price is doing. It's going through the lows except for the current one, but it's obvious which way price is going because it's not taking out the highs. So that's one way of using highs and lows to trade. So, fellow traders, just remember, it's not what you trade, it's how you trade it. So go out there and drain the banks.